Hi, Richo here from DA Australia. Ganging rudder servos can be a little complex. We get quite a few questions about the best way to gang rudder servos, and there's quite a few different ways of doing it. The old system of hard linking them together has been around for quite a long time. The problem with having hard linked high powered servos together is they get slightly out of balance. You will burn them out quite quickly. Now SWB make a system which is like a closed loop system with a set of pulleys, and I've been using this for quite a while, and I've got to say it's probably one of the best systems out there. The thing I do like about it is if you lose a servo, you don't lose the rest of your servos, because one burns out, welds itself in one position, and the other servos just fight their way around it, trying to move that servo and destroy themselves. And I have been affected by this. I did lose one of my first 3 metre aeroplanes when I had 4 servos going together hard linked with titanium turnbuckles. One servo died within seconds, the next weakest servo died, then sooner, not too long later, all of them had welded themselves full right deflection. I've seen this happen quite a few times. With the SWB system, which is this one here, it's got a system of pulleys which enables each servo to drop out if it has a malfunction, strips a gear, or it just welds its pot completely shut and it stops working. It doesn't put any pressure on the other servo, but when both servos or all 3 or 4 servos are working together, they pull equally on the pulley system. And I'll get Mark to come in and I'll just show you the system. And as you can see here, while they're all got separate servo arms, it works on a pulley system. Now when you get 3 or 4 servos, it's a little more complex. The pulley systems go back and forth. But what this allows it to happen is the servos work together completely. There's no strain here. Both these are pulling equally on the cable, so you're getting plenty of power. The power doesn't go away, same as it would be in a hard link system. But what happens when one servo drops out is the pulleys come into play. Now you don't get full deflection, but you do get some movement. As you can see, the other servos stop working completely, and that could be welded shut over here. And as you see, you get some deflection, but you get some control back. You can actually still fly the aeroplane, and there's no pressure on your other servo. So you're not drawing current, you're not welding the other servos together. Everything is still operational with slightly less movement, so you know something's gone wrong. And you may have to, in this case scenario, you will have to hold in some rudder to try and keep the thing straight, but you have control. I'll plug this back in again. So as you see, when they're all operational together, perfect. One can drop out. It's a great system. Had I had this in my 3 metre, I would have saved the aeroplane without question. So this tray here, while some people think it's a little expensive, I don't. It could have saved me $5,000 in the long term, and I think there's a few people out there in the same boat. When you're ganging servos together, this is a great system. I think it works really well. It's worth considering. Alright, here's the 3 options we have available. They have a single tray, the dual, and a 3x tray. Now all of these, when you buy the trays, they come with the tiller arm, all the hardware to run the necessary looping, and also the alloy arms for the servo. So that represents pretty good value. You get an alloy servo arms, all necessarily hardware. The bell crank you can get in various sizes. We have these from 4-inch on up. We even got 3.5-inch when you want to run some pretty small ones, but basically from 3.5 to 5-inch in 1/4-inch increments. So you can vary the size of this. They also come offset as well as straight. So if you want your cables straight, run the straight tiller arm. If you want them crossed, run the offset one. Now, the good part about having the tiller arms, it takes all the pressure off your servos. Now these servos are on, as you can hear, they only buzz when I start to put pressure on. You can move them around a fair bit, and there is no pressure on your servos. It takes all the wear off the gear train, and essentially it saves your servos quite a good deal of punishment. Now, as I said, singles, twins and triples, they're your options.